Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We just take like 2-year breaks. Welcome back to North Remembers. This time we are going to cover A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, is what they're calling it. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm calling it The Tall Tales. Anyway, so what was your first initial reaction when you saw like the opening? The rainy scene, Sir Arlen's funeral.
Well, I noticed because there's no like family stuff. There was no like intro like they did with the other.
No intro at all. Yeah.
But it definitely I felt like they were following the book pretty closely. Turns out that's not going to be the case all the way through. They're going to stretch it out. We might get some backstory stuff or just some in between filler.
That'd be cool.
But it was like
dead on, huh?
Well shot, yeah.
Dead on to like him talking about wishing a Septon was there, him like having a hard time throwing dirt on him, like looking down and like
and he's like,
getting sad.
I leave you your sword, but it just rust in the ground.
Yeah, like it. When I listened to the book, it didn't really occur to me like when you see how sad he is. I was like, yeah, he's kind of fucked. Like he has no idea what he's gonna do for money or living.
And it doesn't really say that he did get knighted.
Yeah.
Like this all could be made up for him just to be able to continue.
Yeah.
He was a squire, his knight died. When they ask
it does sound very, very suspect.
Who was witness, it was a robin in a tree, and this kind of leads us into our first real thing is after he buries him.
Yeah, he buries him and then he's on his way. And he stops at the inn. That was all.
Well, before that, when he's like talking about he's like, I could sell you all to the horses.
Oh, yeah.
I could eat like a king for a couple of years even. He's like, but that just leads to either beggary
or robbery.
Outlaw, yeah. And so he's playing with the sword on the road. And he's like, I could join the city watch. And he's like, hey, stop sir.
Yeah. You stop Yeah, that was gold. I love that it's got a lot of humor to it. It's lighthearted, where like House of the Dragon started with like really depressing, like dying, giving birth, and all kinds of blood and all that shit. And this is like really funny. And then that leads us into his next moment, the next morning, the shit that everybody is talking about. I feel like it didn't need to be running. They went for like these gross. But I realized that you probably couldn't get it. That's probably easier to get away with the ratings than a slow, long, right?
Yeah, well, also, if you think about it, like, he's kind of poor, you know, what's he munching on?
Some gross.
Yeah, and now his income just died.
Squirrel and shit, so it's like greasy stuff.
Hedge Knight's not easy living with actually with a lord.
And he's literally like right off the road. I didn't really, when it shows the first shot, he's like on a hill with a beautiful tree, but then you realize from the other side, he's like
the tree is right on the road.
Right off the freeway. And he buried the dude and shit within 10 feet of where he buried him. And then he's just like, all right, off to Ashford Town.
Well, I do like it that it does seem, unlike Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, it's not so darkly shot. Like,
yeah, it's bright and sunny.
Yeah, I'm not like having to find what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's presenting
sneaky
it very well.
around the corner. I do want to mention that when he talked about you never beat me except when I deserve it, that little quick clip scene made me laugh so damn hard.
Yeah.
Of all the smacks.
Well, that's the first made me think before seeing the ending, just kind of giving you what's going to happen in the season. I was like, oh, we might get some good callbacks.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Because it does later when he says he took a wound in your father's service. It shows him pulling out. He's the old man. He's like, ah!
So there, he goes on to the inn, and that was spot on to the book.
Yeah.
Spot on. I didn't notice in the book either that
Actually,
it was
I think there was a little bit more of the guy who says, I saw you in my dreams.
Yeah.
It doesn't jump straight to stay the fuck away from me.
No.
I think they also wanted to more quickly give like a douchebaggery kind of
outlook on him. Like he's a drunkard, and you don't really think about that it's because of the dreams that he drinks so much.
Yeah.
And shit like that. It was cool to see that. And I didn't even think about, oh my God, that's, in the book anyway, that
Yeah.
could be the Targaryen or whatever.
And I think it was harder for them to portray in the show that like he puts down a dragon.
A gold dragon, yeah. That
which is
means
worth a lot.
Yeah, which means he's low. Like at first when she looked at Dunk too, I thought it was like, I saw that you saw that he gave me that. Like,
Yeah,
you're not gonna
it
rob
definitely
me.
looked like that.
Yeah, and then she's like, never you mind him, like realizing he's not. But first looking at him like, don't even think about stealing that.
Yeah.
Because he just overpaid the shit out of
Yeah,
what I gave him.
all of what Dunk eats and drinks, at least in the book, it's like 3 silvers that he has, and he still walks away with silver.
Would to get some coppers back and shit like that. Like a gold dragon is not something he sees.
Yeah. But yeah, that scene was really verbatim kind of to the book. I thought she delivered it weird when she was talking about like how her daughter would go, but she was like, knights are no different than men, like I never knew a joust.
And I always pictured the kids to be older when she talked about him, not like a little girl.
Yeah, that was
I was like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
And I always thought it was weird too, because they do mention the money again later. Stags. I always thought stags weren't important until Robert Baratheon was king.
Right.
They were always, I guess the Baratheons were always close to the Targaryens.
I think a stag is a silver.
Yeah.
I think it's a gold dragon, a silver stag, and then a copper, and it's the 7-pointed star or something.
Oh, that's like the low end of the.
So that's when he shows the sword to the guy. He says,
that's his penny, and that's the okay, yeah. So then he goes on, off to Ashford, and then
he goes when he gets to the inn. First of all, he meets Egg.
Oh yeah,
not knowing he's
How
Egg.
could I almost skip over that? Yeah, and he goes out there to the stable boy. And did you? And when he first tells him, well, that's before he even goes into the inn. Sorry, before he even goes to the inn, I have to chop this up a bit. He sees Egg, and he tells him, "Hey, saddle, feed the horses, give me some oats." And the kid says, "I could, but one." He's a little smart ass right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I like that saying. You'll get a copper if you do good, and a clout in the air if you don't.
Yeah.
He has to duck down and everything. But yeah, when he goes back out, Egg's playing with his armor, just like in the book. And I noticed something. And then I saw something about it on the internet, too. He says, "My lord."
Yeah.
My lord. He doesn't say my lord. He says, "My lord." Which, remember, Tyrion and Arya, back in the old Game of Thrones, Tywin and Arya, talk about how that's a show of a commoner. If you want to pretend to be a commoner, you have to say it like this. And he says it right there, proving he's not a commoner by saying, "My lord."
Yeah, and then later when he calls him my lord and he goes, "Sir,"
Yeah.
And it's kind of to establish this, like that's why Egg wanted to or chose this guy to squire after. He's like,
wants away from all that.
Apparently doesn't recognize me, and he's a good guy even with a lowly, he thinks he's an orphan or whatever.
Yeah, and he wants to get away from all that. Like when he flicks him the penny, he said he wants to go with him like a squire for you. Points out that he's got, a rope for a belt.
Yeah, he's like, you of anyone need the squire.
Yeah.
And if I've ever seen a knight that needs the squire, it's you.
Yeah. And then he throws the kid the copper penny, throws Egg the penny, and in the books he says, the kid ignores it, but I know he'll pick it up as soon as I leave. I like that his thoughts are vocalized in the show, so you still get those thoughts that were in the book. He just vocalizes
Soak all you want. I know you're gonna pick it up as soon as I'm outside.
But he doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's because that's nothing to him. I could have all that.
Yeah.
This is more exciting. Living out on the road, actually getting to do stuff.
He's camping in a royal sense. He's used to lavishness, and he's like, I want to go out and
have a good time.
Like, he wanted to be a squire.
Yeah, but that's probably not easy to get a good pick with your
with being that
royalty
size and not letting him know who you are.
Yeah,
that's why I think you got to try. Another thing attracting him to Dunk is he's like, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know any of the knights. He doesn't.
They're not going to know him.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get too close to anybody that I don't want to meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That one around. Yeah.
So then he's off to Ashford, and it's a lot brighter. You see all the pavilions. You saw what I thought at first glance was the Dornish star, but I guess it's the Ashford sigil. And with so many new houses and other houses, there's going to be sigils that look similar.
Yeah. Well, and you'll have ones even that won't be around in other...
Speaking of sigils, Sir Arlen's chalice, wing chalice, I pictured it to be so much lamer. in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I pictured like a gold chalice with white wings, like a little kid, I guess, would picture it, like a cartoon chalice.
Like a Shrek.
So yeah, like corny looking. So to see it on Dunk's shield originally, I was like, actually, that's a pretty cool fucking sigil.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised by that one. But then you go and he goes to wants to see the master of the games, and that dude was another person that I we'll talk later about the other guy who really stole the show. But the dude at the master of the games,
Yeah.
he kind of telling the kids, hey.
Piss off.
And he's like, dunk, as he says dunk, he's like dunking his bread. Oh, man. And then asking him, yeah, is there any witnesses to your dubbing?
Yeah, it's true, a night can make another night, but was there anyone around? He's like, Robin, I saw Robin in a tree. And he's like, gets all serious.
Yeah, like dead fucking serious. And he's like, what does he say? What would we do to people who lie about
this is
their oaths?
Ashford. He's
Yeah.
like, we take people who
We string you up by your hands and your
stolen
feet.
valor, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll string you up by your hands and your feet and lower you down ass first
Asshole first.
on a fucking, basically a cone, a spike, and fuck you dry. So when I asked you if there was anybody witnessing this, you ever tell me something different than a fucking songbird?
He's like,
He's like, I don't know, it was raining.
My kid heard that. He laughed. That was good.
But yeah, he's like, I'm fucking with you, dude.
But
Ashford chair.
This isn't the Riverlands. This is the Reach.
Yeah.
We're like fat and happy out here, dude. But I can't have like cell swords coming in here.
My boss takes himself as an important person, so
Yeah.
I can't just be letting farmers fucking jousting against the laughing storm, you know?
Yeah. Or having people who are stupid trying to make a name for themselves hurting one of the princes because there's princes about.
Yeah.
You know? And fucking sullying the whole city's name.
And that just almost killed it for me. He's just like, okay, that sucks. And like goes to leave, and he's like, would anybody here
know you guys. Know who you were.
Know your master and you. And he was like, oh, Don Darien, I saw his banners out there. You know, my master served for him or whatnot.
A few years ago in Dorne.
Yeah, and he's like, well, he'll vouch for you, then.
You're good.
Yeah.
So he goes off to try to find him, and he's napping off with, it looks like dudes leaving his tent and whores. The dudes were fully clothed, but obviously the party was off, and he was napping, because the one hooker was like, he's napping.
Well, probably had a whole
situation
thing going on in there,
Yeah.
and then he was like, I'm tired, get out.
Yeah, leave me.
So everybody, men and women, had to leave.
Yeah. So the little hooker goes and sits next to the other one, and they have that funny little Hedge night joke, you know, about it's like a night but sadder.
He's like, I'm not sad.
I'm not sad.
She's like, that's because no lords will have him. He's going to sleep in the hedges.
Oh, that is sad. They were not in the book at all, but they are a delight for comedic relief, and also later on, you know, kind of having a soft spot for Dunk because they could tell that he's fucking new to this whole thing, and he's likely to get chewed up and spit out by some of these crazy weirdo fucks that come to these.
Yeah, well, I think that they're going to go out lighter with this because it's not. I mean, it's canonical, but it's not in a way, you know.
No major
Nothing.
changes.
Nothing. Yeah, there's going to be no weird butterfly effect from something they do in this.
Yeah.
Down the line.
Yeah.
Which real quick brings up because I didn't remember this, but Joffrey when he's reading the fucking book of the.
Yeah, all the noble knights of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, or whatever. So it wasn't the Kingsguard. It was just noble knights.
Yeah, it was
all.
It was
Sir
like,
Dunk. He's like, there's 4 pages on Sir Dunk.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch if it was just Kingsguard.
Like, I wonder if he makes it to the Kingsguard or something.
Well, because he does talk a lot about wanting to be in a noble house of service, and just by this chance meeting and being kind to Egg, he's gonna get to serve like the most noble house. The royal house.
Right, but
Not
it's also
noble. Let's not say the most noble.
But it's also because Egg wants to not be that way. So he's not going to get the lavish life because of taking on
yeah,
Egg.
I want to live
he
in the
doesn't
dirt.
want that.
Yeah, I want to live in the dirt and shit.
Yeah, he's all humble. And it's funny because later you hear him say that they maybe this is just in the book. They haven't gotten this in the show, but he says that they sent his brother off to the Citadel or whatever.
Yeah,
I was like, oh fuck, they're talking about the old man.
Yeah.
How old is that guy? This says this takes place 100 years before.
Yeah, that means
that guy's like 130.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty up there when he kills over at the wall. Like, pretty old.
I guess you could say that.
And his mind stayed pretty sharp up until like the last night. It was fever and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, they could send him to the Citadel pretty young, I guess.
Yeah, like 7.
Yeah.
Once they realize they're a dud with everything else,
Yeah.
like he likes books, but he don't like girls, and he don't like swords, and he's scared of everything.
Can't ride a horse.
He can't ride a horse. So yes, the Citadel's the last hope, and if they don't take him, fuck, I guess we just got to pay for him for the rest of his life and let him live here.
So after they make fun of him and say, "Come back at evenfall."
Yeah, please come back.
All right.
He's okay. And he goes a marching, and he sees the Fossaways training in the yard, and the one Fossaway, the older cousin, beating up the younger one. The names escape me, but I'll get them. I do remember thinking in the book, and saying to Tisha out loud, "Oh my God, the red apple and the green apple Fossaways," and I couldn't remember if that was from Fire and Blood, which takes place before A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, or if Game of Thrones, which I've also listened to, it's from that. I had to look that up. It actually does take place in the Game of Thrones book.
It changes in this.
In this, yes. Yeah. I didn't know. I was like, when does it change? Which book is it from?
Yeah.
And then I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, it changed. It said until they're split in 209 AD, and I was like, oh shit, now we're going to know why there's... And then when I saw them fighting and shit like that, I was like, ooh, this is going to be cool. To see their sigil, that's a dope sigil too, even if it's kind of plain. It's not fear-striking, but it's a...
I thought the older cousin played it very well. I didn't really like the younger cousin's, the acting of it. It just felt his delivery on the lines.
Yeah.
Again, verbatim to the book from that part, but so weird.
Yeah, almost like the accent.
Like, go on, attack him.
Knock his seeds out.
I may be not right, but he's brought into the goal. You're like,
yeah.
Okay.
And the seeds line, not red, I guess, sounded weird. It's a hard line to pull off as an actor, maybe.
Yeah.
The guy reading the book, in the audio book, he pulls it off.
Oh, yeah.
But in live action, him going, knock out his seeds, or whatever he says, was like, that did not sound tough at all. That sounded... You deserve to get smacked around for that one.
Yeah.
But he says, no, I don't want no fight. Because he says, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You blue-eyed cunt, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Sees how big Dunk is, and he's got a long sword, It's mine by right. That's an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, that's something a thief would say.
Yeah.
But he wants to fucking fight with him, see what he's all about. And Dunk's like, no. I've got other things I gotta do, things to attend to. So he moves on.
Well, the guy calls me, he's like, you fucking giant fuck or whatever. And I thought about, in Game of Thrones, he's like, if I was your size, I'd rule the world or whatever.
What we got there next?
When he goes back to the tent where the ladies are.
Oh yeah, he goes back to see Dondarrion again. And he sees the girls. They say he's out.
No, so he says, let's go find quieter accommodations. And that's when he goes and finds the little tree, or the little brook or whatever.
Oh yeah, he goes and finds his little brook, and I didn't write that down. That's right. He goes and finds his little perfect camp spot, which in real life
that's
would
where
be
you
the
get all
perfect...
the man butt.
Yeah, and he is a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, just solid. Like, not... Yeah. Fucking big dude.
Yeah, and he's like batting his clothes against the rocks.
Smells like shit.
Oh. I assume he ties up the horses and everything, and that's when he heads back to town.
Yeah,
back to the tourney.
Yeah. So I did skip a little part. And he goes back to the tourney to try to find Dondarrion. Goes back to his tent, and he's not there. But what looks like a dead woman is there. With
so they're doing the stones and everything.
Put the stones on her eyes and covering up her titties and all that stuff. And say he's out, can't do, come back later, whatever.
Yeah. Busy.
And that he shouldn't put risk to his body, right?
Yeah, she's like, well, sorry, we see a lot of, green knights come through
here. Yeah, because the one whore who has her head up, which means she's pretending to be dead.
Mm.
It's like, isn't that our job to put a hazard to our bodies for the Lord's pleasure, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so you're trying to become a knight to serve a noble house so you can again put your body
on
at
the line.
risk for that noble house.
Yeah, and then the one goes from one whore to another, basically.
Yeah, and he's like, you have to mock me, which was kind of sad, you know, you feel bad for him.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just looking for some help, you know?
And they're like, okay, well, we're just trying to look out for you because we've seen a lot of kids come in here with glory in their eyes, but not in their hands.
Yeah. And he's like, maybe I'll be different. She's like, take care of your body. It's the last one you get or whatever.
Yeah.
Last one you want or something.
He's out wandering around. And that was Dondarrion's tent, yeah. So Dondarrion's into all kinds of fucking
Apparently,
shit.
yeah. I don't know how much they're going to go into Dondarrion on this, though.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I think we're getting more on the Fossways, and that will be good. I like their story in the book. But hopefully the guy delivers. And we just right about here, actually. He comes back, and he's like calling him down. Hey,
Hey,
half-man.
half man. He's like, do I look like a half man to you? He's like,
Hell yeah, half-man,
half
half-giant.
giant, yeah. He's like, sorry, I shouldn't have urged you to fight my cousin. He likes to hurt people in the yard.
Yeah,
So that when he fights them later,
in case he has to fight them in the lists,
Yeah.
he'll be wounded.
so he likes to pull that little trick. And then I'm just a squire, you know. He's the better apple, which he never stops reminding me. And I would love to compete, but I'm just a squire.
And then he kind of pauses, looks like a pretty good fighter for a squire.
Like, you hungry? Always. And then they go to Baratheon's tent. And then even from the outside, you got like 4 stags as they fucking tower tops, like well carved, fucking intricate stag heads. You go in and it's got antler and chandeliers, like more than one.
Yeah. It's like long fucking tables, like you're at Hogwarts or something.
His fucking tent looked nicer than hotels I've stayed in. Like the nicest hotels I've stayed in. Awesome. Food spread. Everybody's drinking and partying.
Yeah.
And he just kind of gives Dunk a bunch of food. But then Baratheon...
Well, the Fossil guy sits him down, gives him a mug.
And a little bit of... No, he just gives him a mug at first. And then Baratheon starts to talk. And he's like, I have a profound thought. And he says it kind of quiet at first. He's like, they cunts can't hear me. Because they're talking too loud. I have a profound thought.
If anyone cares to hear or something.
Yeah. And talks about how jousting, they started it in the fields just centuries ago. And how there's no way a man created this fucking sport.
Yeah.
So who did? You know, all crazy. Everybody's all quiet. Dunk sneaking another fucking flagon of wine there, looking around like, what are they gonna say? You know? And he's like, never mind. And he's like, 1,000 stags to whoever, what
God,
bad beast,
beast.
God, man, or beast that sticks me the most. Or
Yeah,
something
sticks
like
me the
that.
best.
Now eat your bird so we can fucking dance.
And so that's when the food comes out, and Dunk's like, holy shit.
Turkey leg that's like you see in the movie cartoons, yeah. Cherry pies, boozing, everybody's dancing, having a good time. And then he calls the dude at Baratheon's table, just points at him. He's like, yes, he's got a huge cherry tart in his hand.
The guy's like, yeah, you. He's like, oh, shit.
And the first thing Lionel says to him is, have you ever been punched in the face before?
Yeah.
He's like, excuse me?
And it's not even like the vernacular like feels like more modern than like it would back then.
Yeah.
Just, have you ever been punched in the face before? What? He's like, big guys tend to get punched more than little guys. You know that? And he's like, I didn't, but I believe it. After we saw not that long ago him getting smacked around by Sauron.
And he's like, is that why you slouch? So you don't get punched? No. He's like,
I'm not slouching.
Very like a little kid defending himself a lot in the show, which is like funny. And then he talks about, he says, God, what does he say?
So he says, have you been punched in the face before?
Oh yeah, is that why you slouch? He's like, it's like, I don't slouch. And he goes, you've been sulking around here like a maid on her wedding night, all night, you know? So what, you know?
God gave you tallness.
Be tall.
You know.
So what have you brought me?
And he goes, well, just where I come from, you kind of learn to try and blend in or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yes, what have you brought me? And he looks down at the tart, like almost like
I'm
he was
sorry.
gonna.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was like, see that man there, the guy, the cunt in the red. He is his people go poor or go hungry every winter, starve every winter, and he's behind on his rent.
And he still at least
Managed to
brought me
pull this out of his family's basement, shine it up a bit, and give it to me because he knows. What does the line say, Tish?
All men in their own way wish only for your help
Or your head. So
he's like, so you're after my head then? If you aren't asking
for my hospitality with gifts, you know.
Yeah, so he's like, so again, like, what are you here for? And he's like, supper?
And he's like, makes sense.
He's like, actually, that makes sense.
He's like, oh yeah, be tall. And when he says be tall, he says, or I will burn you for a heretic.
Yeah, he's like,
or I will stab you or behead you or throw you off of a tall something. What did they do to heretics?
They burn them.
That's right. And earlier he says something. He's like, what the fuck did I say? He's fucking. He stole the show, Lionel. And then they go, okay. After he says he's there for supper, they go to
do
dance.
You like to dance?
Do you like
and he
to
goes,
dance?
who does it?
And that dance scene was just fucking epic. So perfectly acted. Reminded me and Tisha particularly of, and I know you're not supposed to say this word, but I know no other word to say it, and we're not saying it in an offensive way. But like gypsies. Like old school, like
Esmeralda.
From Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Tisha was saying.
Yeah.
Esmeralda from Notre Dame, that kind of thing. The gypsies.
Like the music.
The music and the dancing.
Kind of the
Mamushka, like on the Addams Family, you know, stomping around, and he's drunk. God, it reminded me of like some of my family members, my cousins, just like with the stomping and getting revved up and having a good time, you know. And John just like stomps on the back, and he screams, and everybody else thinks it's all like part of the party, but that could have been like a real get your fucking ass killed moment.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely just pull a dagger on him right there.
And Baratheon just laughs. And that's where you kind of see the Baratheon spirit. They are, you know, Robert's Baratheon spirit.
And even Doug felt safe enough. After he starts laughing, he like shoves him and they just keep going.
They're dancing and spinning each other, having a great time. And then they're just sitting there.
Dunk with his fucking antlers on.
Awesome antler helmet.
Yeah.
Not a helmet even, just a crown.
Yeah.
But it was so fucking badass. The coolest one I've seen out of the shows.
Yeah.
And
Well, the other one was fucking Renly's. And
a little in gold.
His was...
No pun intended. But, yeah, he's sitting there wearing Lionel's crown, and they're drunk, you know, and Lionel's telling him a story about something about bringing a ship into the storm.
Through a storm,
yeah.
And I think he was telling about how that's why he gets his name, the Laughing Storm. Or
By laughing his way through it or getting through it or something.
He's like, I just figured, fuck it, man. I just gotta go for it. They did it before me.
Yeah, Stormlanders have been doing it all their life. I can do it too. And
then Dunk kind of starts asking about, he's like, I'm quick and strong, but you're quick and strong. But you've also trained with, like, the Masters of Arms of crazy, and, like, you have all this armor and experience, yada, yada. He goes, I gotta ask you, like, what kind of a chance do I really have?
You got no chance,
he's like, no, you got nothing. So, they're sitting down drunk with the helmet on, and he's like, what chance do I have?
And he said, you have no chance.
And he's like, so what would you suggest I do? And he's like, I'm just really drunk.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really drunk. He's like, but before that, though, he says it's a great honor to test one's strength against a worthy opponent. It's like, no offense, but that's easy for you to say. You have a house and an inheritance and a name. If I lose, I won't have money to ransom back my horse. And he like laughs.
Yeah.
Baratheon laughs at him like, well, no horse, no night at all. He's like, so what do I do? And he's like, I don't know. I'm very quite drunk. I'm really quite drunk.
And he just
like steps over the table,
uses his shoulder, steps on the table,
grabs
slaps
his
the crown
crown,
on. Thanks.
and he fucking hits it on the chandelier. Oh, sorry.
And that's when Dunk notices Dondarrion leaving with the whores.
And he goes to try to remind him of his service and Sir Arlen's service to the guy's father. And the guy's a snobby fucking prick. Like, he came off that way in the book, but much more in the show.
Yeah.
The dude fucking nailed it, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, I don't care, you know? And he did make a good point, though, and I don't remember this in the book necessarily. I'd have to re-listen, but he did say, we've lost more men. We've forgotten men who gave more than just a wound.
Yeah.
And that's actually a fair point to say.
It's kind of
It's still fucked. It's still fucked up, but like, yeah, it is really fucked up to say it.
But
It's a true point. But
Yeah.
like, a lot of people died.
800 swords went into those mountains.
Yeah, your old man came back with a wound.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet some men died up there, and I don't remember their names.
Yeah. I don't got time for this shit.
Yeah.
I gotta go nail that.
Did
Dead
I see
hooker.
2 whores on my arms?
Yeah. And
He's
I'm
like
going-
kissing with him the whole time, too. He's like making out with
hung like a Dornishman. No, I said I hung Dornishman.
him.
And yeah, he was a total dickhead. And then they just kind of look, and the one redheaded one, I think she's gonna be his friend. The redheaded hooker. She's
Yeah.
gonna be like.
Well, that's after he said, "Must you mock me?"
She was the one that was like sorry at first.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be the one that's more friendly to him.
Did
And-
we skip over when he saw the puppetry girl? When he
Yes,
was
we did.
wandering around. I think that was.
Right before the party.
Yeah.
Right before Baratheon's party. That's where he ran into
In the book, I thought it was like puppets. They're fucking like.
oh yeah,
dragon's
big.
huge and does look dope.
And it wasn't paper mache and ghetto
Yeah.
like it was in my imagination. I always thought it was like, like
Yeah.
small paper mache.
I was thinking like marionette.
Yeah. And yeah, like sawdust comes off the dragon's head. Like, whoa. That was a
And
lot
they
more
shoot
elaborate.
the fire. Someone's holding like a
Yeah.
little tiny flame.
Big and
then-
elaborate. And Dunk gets his eyes on the little Dornish gal.
And it does show how tall he is because he's like among everybody, but he's like his whole head taller than everybody else.
Yeah. Thunk. On everything.
And I will say, in the first watch I did, I thought for some reason there was a lot of CG involved, but then rewatching it, like I like this actor. He's got a good look to him.
Yeah, and
he
he plays.
has a lot of different expressions.
Oh yeah, and he plays them well.
Yeah,
You
know, when
believe
it
it?
says like Sir Dunk. You know, it's just funny because like and hopefully we'll hear it soon. But he's like Dunk the Lunk, thick as a castle wall.
So back to the right order. We will get this right by episode 2, I promise. They are. He goes back to the camp scene after Dondarrion tells him fuck off, just broken. It's not gonna happen. He's got to have it by tomorrow morning. Somebody to say something. He goes back to camp, and there's a fire. And
not like, oh shit, there's a fire. Like, no, it was like a campfire.
yeah, by his horses and shit. So he's like, hey, what are you? And there's little Egg sitting there.
And that's when he finds out his name's Egg. Doesn't know who he actually is. Just assumes he's an orphan.
Yeah, thief. How did you get here?
Yeah, and he says, you'd have to take me back to King's Land. And he's like, I'll
Yeah.
put you over my horse and take you home.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to King's Landing, and you'd miss the tourney. And he's like, you're from Flea Bottom, and he tells the truth. No.
Yeah.
And he's like, like he thinks the kid's lying.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, well, I should beat you bloody, send you on your way. You know.
Yeah. He's like, but, you know.
You don't look like you eat much. And if you swear, but before he even says that, he sees his clothes, and he's like, what's that?
He was already, I think he scoured his armor. Already.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like, I made the fire, caught the fish, cooked the fish.
Groomed the horses. I would have put up your pavilion, but I couldn't find one. And that's when they had the whole tree speech, which is in the book. Word for word is almost in the book.
Yeah.
And it was really cute to see. That kid actor is fucking on point. And they said, I saw that he was the first kid they auditioned.
Really?
I mean, I'm assuming they still auditioned a bunch of other kids, but they were like, let's just go back to him.
He's
Nah.
pretty good. I think there's in earlier, I think like the end scene or something like that. It was like it felt the delivery was a little off again, but he's also a kid, and maybe he's going with something that he's gonna play out later.
Yeah, you never know.
But he's good in that scene. I really like it, especially with the later at night when he's like all the other knights are in their pavilions right now looking at silk, not at the sky. because they saw the shooting star.
Yeah, and before that, when he says, you know, you're a knight, whatever. Do you know all the knights in the Seven Kingdoms? The good ones. And he says, okay, well, Sir Dunk. Sir Dunk. Is that short for Sir Duncan? And he's like, yes, actually. Yeah. And then he's like, Sir Duncan the Tall. In the books, Egg gave him that name.
Yeah.
Egg's the one that's like, Sir Duncan the Tall. Like that.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a, he's like, Sir Duncan. He's like,
of where? And he's like, I don't, from Flea Bottom doesn't sound good, you know? And I can't say from Pennytree because I've never been to Pennytree. So he just was going to be Sir Duncan. That's good enough. Yeah. And then Egg's like, no. You got to be Sir Duncan the Tall. So that was a little bit different. But yeah, then they did talk about the shooting star. And that was a really cute comment. Yeah, they're all looking at their pavilions and silks and satins.
Oh, this guy, and he goes,
go to bed.
So the luck is our own, because they're the only ones out looking at the sky.
And the kid smiles.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a really good one. I'm excited for it.
I like too. I like how it's lighthearted.
Yeah, like, and it's set in
comedy.
And like I've seen people talk about it, it's set in one spot. It's easy to keep track of 12 characters, you know. Yeah. Maybe up to 20. They'll add some, obviously. Yeah. But in a smaller setting, it's not Winterfell, Riverlands, Dorne.
Yeah, this first season should be all in Ashford.
Yeah, we're all in Ashford at the tourney. Yeah. So we'll establish all these characters and get to know them in one spot, then worry about all these other locations.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's not going to be a bunch of, like, randos that you think are going to be important and they end up falling off. You know?
Yeah. And there's a limited number of seasons. They can only do, I would say, 3, because they're going to do season 1.
I'd say season for both, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to see, and we will see you guys next time.